The teams are still on the ground assisting communities affected by the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. Severe weather in the province has left hundreds displaced and some dead. KZN COGTA spokesperson Nzelelwe Mzila says 90% of the region's infrastructure has been damaged. Relief efforts are underway to provide aid to affected residents.
There has been a loss of life in a number of areas. The MEC for COGTA, Reverend Buthelezi, has sent condolences to all the families that have lost loved ones. One of the tragic incidents that occurred was in the Makoba family on Thursday in Lalazi, Ward 6, where a lightning strike occurred in the household and 4 people were severely injured and taken to hospital. And a 10-year-old child unfortunately succumbed to the injuries that they suffered during the lightning strike.
Right now, for an update, we're joined by COGTA Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Dino, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nduli and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika.
The latest as far as the work that is being done on the ground, now that, of course, also National has been roped in to assist, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal.
Indeed, Mr. Nduli, I firstly want to convey our condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones. Since Thursday, we have 3 fatalities in KwaZulu-Natal, which takes the number up to about 24 fatalities since the beginning of this year. But the KZN COGTA and our team at a national level are on the ground in assisting our people, especially those who have been affected by the latest bad weather, resulting to loss of family members.
The province bracing itself for even more wet weather this weekend. These events have proven to be quite fatal now, and it seems telling us that the officials are on high alert is not really enough at this particular point to assisting residents there to remain in safe spaces.
Enough is being done to identify people in floodplains, to remove them, because as you rightly say, the weather alert is at a higher level. Over the weekend, I am in KwaZulu-Natal. It has been raining the whole day. I arrived yesterday evening. It was raining throughout the night. And what we can do more is to caution our people. If it is not a matter that you must leave your household, just don't leave. And if you have to cross the river and you are not clear or sure whether the bridge is still intact, whatever reason it is, don't cross the bridge. Even the employees who have to go to work. We know some people say, if I don't go to work, my children are not going to eat. But once you have been taken away by water, your children will remain behind, not having you as a breadwinner or as a parent. We want to appeal to our people, including the employers. As everybody is aware of the bad weather, let us talk to our employees that if you see the river that you're going to cross is not at a good stage, don't cross that river because we might lose your life.
Now, we were just weeks ago talking about KZN picking up the pieces after the floods that wreaked havoc in that particular period. An estimation of 3.1 billion rands would have been the figure. Now, of course, more lives being claimed, more damage being experienced. With that, as COGTA, what are you looking at as far as the rebuilding of these municipalities in the context, of course, of the budgets and the budget itself being something that is going to be highly contested over the next couple of days?
Mr. Mdluli, emanating from the disasters for the previous years, 2 years, some of the municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal in the beginning of the month of March did receive some money which dates back 2 years. And again, in the first 2 weeks of April, there is another allocation that will go to various municipalities in South Africa. And the unfortunate part of it, when we release this money, 2 weeks later, the rain is coming badly and destroy more the infrastructure. And that is why we want to encourage our municipalities that the infrastructure that they build must be a resilient infrastructure that is able to withstand the bad weather conditions. As we see, we are in a period of climate change, and it is bad weather after bad weather. If our infrastructure is not strong enough, it is not going to resist these bad weather conditions, and it will be money put on the same item over and over again.
Yeah. Climate change, of course, considered. We put that aside. We'll talk about it in a moment. But experts are pointing to two things, Minister. One, inadequate supply of resources for infrastructure recovery and redeployment. But two, a sluggish government response. So you are not on your foot, you're flat-footed as far as responding to these disasters. What do you say to that?
Yeah, in terms of response, Mr. Mdluli, you know, the government is unlike the NGO. I really want to thank the NGO who are able to respond urgently with the resources, because there is no procurement followed at an NGO level. The unfortunate part, at a government level, you firstly need to get a full report as to what was damaged and get the estimation. You take that information to Treasury. It goes a long way before you actually get the resources. And if we can override those checks and balances, as you know, a lot of money is being released at a Treasury level, unfortunately land into wrong hands. We are tightening the whole system and ensuring that things like blankets, things you know will be needed when there is a bad weather, to stock them and keep them aside. But on other instances, when a road has been washed away, there is no shortcut. Firstly, you need to get a report, you need to quantify the damage, you need to get to the process to the Treasury until you get the money. It is an unfortunate scenario, but that is how the government operates. What we must do, when the money has been released, as I've said, money has been released in March, the other tranche is coming in April. The infrastructure that we build must be strong enough not to be washed away again, so that every infrastructure we build, you rightly know, in the budget that is being contested, in terms of being debated, there is a huge amount of money invested on infrastructure. That infrastructure must be a resilient infrastructure, strong enough. Once it has been constructed, it must be able to withstand the bad weather conditions.
Yeah. In terms of an update then to you, Minister, what is your team prioritizing, I suppose, the national team, but in collaboration with province and the municipalities? We know you've already mentioned public safety of the public is paramount here. Those who don't have to travel, don't travel. You're getting that message out there. Those in low-lying bridges moving into places of safety. What next are they pointing out to you would be their next priority?
Once you have ensured that people in the floodplains have been removed, secondly, look at the health of the environment in which they are, And thereafter, once you have secured that one, the next thing, we are going to engage eThekwini Metro, because most affected areas are around eThekwini, the traditional leaders, the KwaZulu-Natal government, the business people, because we need to identify land where human settlement can build houses or shelters that give dignity to our people, so that we give them a proper shelter in an area that is not prone to floods. As we know, the weather is not good from time to time. And thereafter, the money that we give to our municipalities, we are going to follow the money to see that it goes to the desired items which it was requested for, and also check the quality, so that we do not give money to do one and the same item in the same area, but move forward, because many roads are destroyed. The infrastructure has been damaged very badly. Therefore, our priority, give quality work once the money has been received, to show that whenever money is got next time, should proceed to other damaged infrastructure which has not been fixed to its proper conditions.
Dino, we appreciate you and thank you so much for coming on in your intervention this afternoon. The COGTA Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa there.